Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm super excited to see you guys here. So just a reminder, if you're hopping on, turn on your video. This is the only way we get to connect with each other during these weekly calls. So today, we've been kind of playing around with the dates to see what kind of works best. But typically these calls are on Thursdays. We will have another call on Thursday, but because I saw a need for nutrition, I am hosting a call on Monday and Thursday this week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because if you are showing up for your fitness, but you aren't showing up in the kitchen, let me tell you something. You are not going to see results. I hate to break it to you, but you cannot out-train a bad diet. You simply can't. So for those that don't know me, my name is Gabriela Lopez. I'm one of the coaches in the quarantine group. And I'm super excited that we get to join and we get to connect with each other on a weekly basis. Again, I'm going to ask the ladies that have not turned on their camera to please turn on your cameras, because this is the only way we get to connect with each other. We get to see you guys. Besides, we have a guest speaker tonight, and she's going to be sharing her story. She's going to be vulnerable enough to, share how she was able to lose 60 pounds on this program, on this nutrition system. And, let's show her some love and show her some respect by showing our faces. So I've been coaching for 6 years. I joined Beachbody just like every single one of you guys as a challenger first. And when I joined, I just wanted to simply lose the weight that I had gained with my pregnancy. I had gained 38 pounds with my pregnancy. Honestly, I've never struggled with my weight before, prior to my pregnancy, but I also was never healthy, and I also wasn't fit, right? I never had abs and none of that. I was never into fitness. I was never an outdoorsy type of person. I was never into sport. My husband he's always been a runner. He's always been very active, cycling, soccer, and he would always invite me to join. He would always invite me to go running with him. And I tell you that nutrition is important because my husband would run 3 to 4 times a week, and he would run anywhere from 3 to 4 miles, and he would come home drenched, right? And he didn't lose 1 pound, and he would get so frustrated, right? And later we found out that the reason he wasn't losing anything, right, is because we were stuffing our faces. We weren't changing anything in the kitchen. We were ordering, all the food. We were drinking wine. We were just living an unhealthy lifestyle. And so I know for a fact that you have to pair your fitness with nutrition. And I know many of you guys are struggling with nutrition, and that's fine. That's why we're here. We're here to guide you. We're here to show you the tools that you need to implement into your journey so that you can have results. All right. I lost 50 pounds in 1 year, and I've been able to maintain it off. All right. And it's been because of the system. It's been because I followed a nutrition program, because I worked out at home, because I leaned into this community. I leaned into the accountability groups. Guys, if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for this amazing community, I wouldn't be here 6 years later. Because if no one was checking up on me, literally would be just sleeping, like hanging out, because it's not easy to wake up at 5:45, 6 in the morning to show up at 6:30 to work out, right? Some of you guys are jumping on at 5 a.m. and it's not easy. You're waking up at 4:30, 4:45 to hop on at 5. That takes commitment and discipline, but it also takes knowing that you have someone waiting for you on that other screen, because they're also waiting for you to hop on for them, right? And so that is why I get up every morning with enthusiasm, knowing that I have at least one person waiting for me. All right. Even with my husband, I knew that doing this with him would, we would hold each other accountable. He would be my accountability. So I just want to mention, that, and I mentioned this on all the calls. I don't care if we're talking about patience. I don't care if we're talking about nutrition, if we're talking about fitness, if we're talking about confidence, it doesn't matter. If you're coming into our community, you guys, there are 3 pillars. And I am going to urge you to stick to the 3 pillars. And I'm going to advise that you don't come in with a mentality of, let me see what works for me and let me see what fits my system or my life, and start cutting corners. The 3 things that I have done consistently for 76 months has been fitness, following a nutrition program, drinking my Shakeology, and leaning into this community. So I know, not only because it's worked for me, but it's worked for people who started before me, like Audrey, or people who started after me, like you guys, right? We have tons of girls that are going through program after program that are getting amazing results. I'm going to shout out Abigail, who has been putting this into place since May, and she's lost almost 27 pounds. She can type it in if it's changed. The last time she told me it was 26.8. She didn't lose 26.8 pounds because she just shows up for fitness. No, she shows up in her fitness. She shows up in the kitchen. She shows up in the Zoom, calls, and she shows up in the accountability, and every single video that you see of recording, you see her face. She also shows up for her peers. She shows up for all the ladies in the chat, all the ladies in that group. And those are the people who have the best results. And so I'm going to urge you that you lean into this community, that you use the tools that you are given, and that you apply them. And I promise you that if you do the work, it'll work for you as well. So tonight we're going to speak about the ultimate portion fix. And the ultimate portion fix, I don't even think it was around when I first joined, is these little containers, right? And obviously it's a robust nutrition program now that was created by Autumn Calabrese, that if you signed up for Muscle Burn Fat, either a complete pack, a completion pack, or a challenge pack, you have access to that program. And you also have access to 2B Mindset, which we will cover on Thursday. And then you get to decide your path. You get to decide which way you want to stick to. I utilize the ultimate portion fix, and we'll hear about someone who utilizes next week, this Thursday coming up, who utilizes 2B Mindset. It has to fit your lifestyle. And I know that it fit Tamara's lifestyle. So I'm going to let her share her story tonight. And then I'm going to go and teach you how to use it so that you can apply it every single day and get amazing results like Tamara. Tamara has been with Beachbody for, I believe, 2 years now. And she has lost over 60 pounds, you guys, over 60 pounds using these little things. And I'm going to ask her to unmute her line so that she can go ahead and share her story with us tonight. Thank you, Tamara, for joining us tonight and sharing with us so openly.
Hi everyone, and thank you for having me here. As Audrey, as my coach, knows how shy I am, but I think.
El volumen.
Can you guys hear me better now?
A little bit. You sound low.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
It's low. Can you guys hear her? It's low, right?
Let's see.
I can hear her fine.
Is it me then?
I could hear her fine, Gabby. Maybe it's like, I don't know.
Okay, Tamara, maybe it was me.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Yes.
I am very shy. It's actually one of my first times. My name is Tamara, for those that don't know me. I've been with Beachbody for 2 years, and definitely the portion control system has been a life changer for me. Although I've lost all the weight I needed to lose, I have gained so much more. I gained my confidence back. I gained control of my life. And I'm not allowing my old eating habits and old thoughts control this journey. It's different for everyone, but at least my journey, it's not controlling it anymore. I have always felt the need to be productive and helpful. So that's one of the main reasons why now I have decided to share my story to help others. So many people do not know how to control their eating habits, and it's for millions of reasons. They don't like to share it. We don't like to share it because before I didn't like to share it. I was ashamed. I was feeling ashamed because I didn't want anyone to know I was having trouble controlling what I ate. I mean, I'm a petite girl, and I can tell you this much: I can eat. So when I got the little containers, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna eat in those little things. But I just kept on doing it every day. It is hard at the beginning because you have to, like Gabby said, stick to the kitchen. You have to stick to the portions. At the beginning, yes, you're gonna have the headaches because your belly, it's not educated, and that is fine. But on my perspective, on my end, I think that this nutrition program was the best that I could have ever found. I tried all of them. I have tried many of them. But I believe that once you acknowledge that you have a problem with food, you're going to come a long way with this program. We all need to learn that food is fuel, and we need to learn how to control it, enjoy it in the correct or in the good portions, in the healthiest portions. I mean, I never would have thought, but I believe I started dealing with anxiety back in 2013. And it went unnoticed because I was expecting my second child. So I thought that all the eating was coming from the pregnancy. And I knew it. I knew it because as women, we all know there's something wrong with us. Believe it or not, we know, we just don't want to either acknowledge it or we don't want to speak with anyone. On my end, I learned that anxiety is triggered by many experiences in life. The cost to my anxiety, it was an unbalanced childhood. And that's what I learned from my therapist. I would have never thought. I always considered myself a strong woman. I guess I was being too strong, and I didn't want to share, and I kept everything to myself, and it triggered my anxiety. And the binge eating, that started a way to cope my anxiety. I was also diagnosed with that. I was on medication for some time. I decided to let go of it because I'm a woman of faith. I was not gonna start having pills at an early age of 34. So I just started, I wanted to do it on my own. I started dealing with this little by little. The way I handle my anxiety is we learned a little, we do a little. I didn't want to do drastic changes because that was gonna just kick me off and I was not gonna continue with the plan. I guess that we all have a year that everything goes upside down. And 2012 for me was that year that triggered that anxiety that perhaps was there, but I never realized it. I never wanted to realize it. And 2012, to the fact that I bought my house in 2010, when the crisis of the foreclosures, I lost my house in 2012. I resigned to my position in the corporate world in 2012. I was expecting, I learned I was expecting my second child in 2012 as well, while I was on IUD, so that was unexpected. I went through prenatal depression. My family was by far the biggest support I've ever had. To make a long story short, I delivered a healthy boy in 2013, and the rest is history. I said, this is the plan I've stuck to for 2 years. I lost the 60 pounds. My husband and I got back to our feet on November 2013. The one thing we never lost was faith. We are true believers that God, if we're still here, is because we're stronger. And that was my guide, my light. And I knew that I was here to do something different. So I guess when I got back to corporate world, we all know what corporate world looks like. It's 10 hours, 11 hours of work. And I'm still in corporate world. I am in the accounting. I've been in the finance team since, I believe, 15 years now. So it's hard when you deal with the corporate world, when you deal with the kids, the house. But the last one on that list is you, because I never had a chance to take care of myself. Or at least I didn't want to take care of myself because I didn't want to, so I thought, not take care of my kids, because that's what I used to believe, that if I was taking care of myself, I was not taking care of my kids. And I wanted to give my kids that, what I thought I never had. So it was me inside my kids' world. It was not, I never had that time for me. And in 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with anemia for the second time and hypothyroid. That was tough because I've never been a big girl. I've always fought to not gain the pounds, put the pounds down, but I always did it in an unhealthy way. I always did, okay, I have a trip, a summer trip, I'll start not eating the month before so that I can lose all those pounds before my trip. And that was not the most healthiest way of doing it. So it was hard when I got diagnosed, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm 34 and I'm getting diagnosed with all these crazy things that I would have never thought. But here they are knocking on my door, and I didn't know for what reason. And I guess now that I'm on this path and on this journey, it's my journey. I feel that I'm in control now. My binge episodes are very few and far apart now. I won't lie, I still deal with them, but I know exactly how to get back on track. I eat in less quantity every day, it's less. And I am an emotional eater. So when I'm under stress, when I'm sad, I try not to speak about it because I'm strong and I don't like to put my problems out there, but that's also nutrition. Your nutrition is not only the kitchen. You need to speak to someone. And that's what I didn't learn. That's what I didn't know many years ago. And because I don't like to speak to anyone, I speak to the mirror. I talk to the mirror. If I need to play the mirror game, I do so. You know, I tell myself off, or girl, you got to get back on track. You got to get back on your containers, do it the right way or the highway. And portion control to me means everything. I don't want to change it because I feel that I eat. Because many people see the little containers and they're like, that's a little. No. Once you put all the things in the little containers and you put it on a plate, that's a big meal. It's just a matter of fact of educating the belly. As a good Central American, it's hard. It's hard because my parents never taught me that. You know, they never taught me how to eat. I like all my fritangas. I like everything that's fried. You know, I'm from Nicaragua. So it's hard. It's hard to let go of it. It's many, many years. And I don't like to do drastic changes. So we learn a little, we do a little. I still eat my food in smaller portions, but I still eat it because it was 20-something years, 30-something years eating that food. That's not going to change from day to night. So.
Sorry, I muted you. Sorry. Espérate, que I think I muted you. Go ahead. Keep talking. No. Right now.
Better?
Yes, go.
I still eat all my Central American food, but it's in small portion. I love it, and I know that when I'm headed to Miami, I'm headed to behave bad, but it's okay. When I come back, it's all good. I'm back on it. I'm back on track. I get back on my feet. I get back on my training. It's not easy. I love the fact that we have this community because when I am feeling down, believe it or not, when I see these girls at 5 a.m. in the morning, I'm like, shit, you need to get your ass up and you need to do it because they are out there waiting for you. So I'm just glad that I'm here to share this story with you because I know that many, and I know, deal with the food and do not like to talk about it because we feel ashamed, and it's okay. It's okay because I went through it and I had to look for professional help. You know, our parents play the psychology. They're all psychologists. They're not. Look for that help because you need it. If you don't get that help, there's no way the no nutrition program is going to work for you. Not the portion control, not the B2B, nothing. You need to speak about it. You need to acknowledge that you do have that problem. I mean, as a small, tiny girl, when I saw myself eating 2 double quarter pounders, I was like, okay, that's not right. That's not correct. And I will make it fun at the moment, you know, yeah, I'm a big eat. No, it's not fun. You're not learning how to control it. So as I go and as I continue to educate myself with the portion control, my therapist was a huge impact in my life. I simply focus on balance, moderation, and mindset. That's what I do. We learn a little, we do a little. Things are not gonna change from one day to the other. You learn a little, you do a little. When I started this program, I only did 2 push-ups. I will cry. My husband will make fun of me, but it is what it is. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do it. With portion control, with any other nutrition, that's the one that fits to my need, to my goals. And I don't think I'm gonna let go of it for a while, because I really feel good. I feel in control. And it's not only feeling good on the outside, you know, because if you don't feel good in the inside, forget about it. Nothing's gonna look better on the outside. It's something that you need to look for lasting results. And the lasting results will only come if you acknowledge and if you feel good in the inside. Because the outside, I can go and have some surgeries and feel good on the outside very quick in a couple of months, but that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I was looking for. I rely on my faith, and every day I am growing a little deeper relationship with God, as I believe I was letting go of that as well. So it's hard, but hang in there. And if you're looking for nutrition, for support, this is a great team. They're always there for you. They always have a good comment. Sometimes we feel bad, sometimes we feel good. We all have our good and our bads. But the fact that we're there, showing up without kids, without headaches, it's big. It's definitely big. And I wish that if you're not doing the program just yet, you give yourself that opportunity. Any expense that goes towards you, it's not an expense, it's an investment. And that's it. That's me. That was my story.
Thank you so much, Tamara. So I want to touch upon some things, and then I'm going to go into teaching you how to use the containers and calculate where you fall in terms of your plan. And then we're going to come back and allow you guys to ask Tamara questions, because I want to get through this, which is not the fun things, and then, but it's important, right? But we also want to come back and maybe you guys have some comments for Tamara or questions. I want to just touch upon something she said that kind of ties in everything she shared, which is, in order for you to get lasting results, right, and sustainable results, right, you have to do the internal work, you guys. You have to do the internal work. And I love what she said about us mothers and women. We put ourselves last every single time, because she touched upon that. We feel guilty. If we are giving ourselves 30 minutes, then we feel that we're robbing 30 minutes from our kids, or from our spouse, or from our parents, or from our significant other, or from our family. But what we're doing is that we're actually giving them from an empty cup, right? And we're really just giving them the rest of us as opposed to the best of us. And so when you pour into yourself and you show up 30 minutes, it takes 30 minutes. If you pour into yourself first, you're going to have energy, and you're going to be energized, right? And you're going to feel accomplished, and you're going to, every single time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence goes up. So you are coming from a better place. And I loved how she said that it's not just what goes in here that's feeding you. That's not the only thing, which is why this community is so important. When I joined here with a challenge pack, with a box, little did I know what I was going to find. I had no idea that I was going to find a community that will inspire me to be better in all the areas of my life. Not just fitness and nutrition, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And as you progress in this journey, you're going to want more. And we are you know, in our chat, where the majority of the girls are reading, and they might be reading what I'm reading, others are reading their own thing, but we're all reading, because if you are not working on this and you're not working on this, like Tamara said, it don't matter what you put in here, right? It's not gonna work. It doesn't matter if you do 2B mindset, it's not gonna work. You have to work on this, and you gotta work on your heart. And, you know, she mentioned therapist. For me, my therapist has been essential, and it's a blessing. And I'm not, you know, and I'm not telling you go out and get a therapist, but maybe I am. But what I'm saying is that you need the help. If it is to begin in here and embrace your sisters and reach out when you fall, that's what we're here for. And Tamara is another one that pours into our community. She is there every single day with her motivational posts. So if you haven't seen it, go and search for her. She's very inspirational, and and that's why she's having results, because she is also showing up for you guys. She's showing up for others, and that's why in return, she shows up for herself. So I'm gonna share my screen, you guys, and I'm gonna very quickly share where to find what portion control plan you fall under. So for those who signed up for MBF and MBFA, if you go into the Nutrition Center and under Beachbody On Demand, you'll see 2B Mindset, which we'll be speaking about on Thursday. But this is where you're gonna find the Ultimate Portion Fix. If you click on that, you're gonna find that it's a video-based program, and you're gonna follow one video at a time, and then you get to decide, you know, how to apply it. I love it because it's gonna teach you everything from having a healthy relationship with your food, to going food shopping, to prepping your meals, to organizing your pantry, to, you know, feeding your family, etc. But today I'm gonna take it very simple with you guys, and I'm going to share where she started, which was the 21-day fix. And that's where you guys are going to find what plan you fall under. You can also figure that out under the Ultimate Portion Fix. But for now, until you get through all the videos, I'm gonna show you the easy way to do it. So you're gonna look for the 21-day fix or 21-day fix extreme, whichever. But I would start 21-day fix or the real time. And then you're gonna go to program materials, all right? And for those who are beginners, very quickly, if you have not done a program with us, the first thing you're gonna do is you wanna take your before pictures, your goodbye pictures, those pictures that you don't wanna take because you don't wanna see yourself. Those are important, because those are the ones that you will utilize to compare as you are progressing in this journey. You're gonna look back and say, wow, look how far I've come, right? So that's gonna be super important. You're gonna use like a wall that is white, or, you know, that has a lot of light, so that this way, you know, there's no reflection, etc. So front, back, and side. And you want to use the same outfit that you take on day one when you end the program. Sometimes in this scenario, if you're doing MBF, then, you know, it's going to be a 21-day program. If you're doing something else, Tamara's doing a 4-week of the prep. Yeah. Right. So then she would take pictures the day, you know, day one, and then when she finishes week 4. So that's one thing. The second thing is you want to also take your measurements. Measurements is super important. The reason measurements are important is because sometimes you can't just base your progress on the scale, because sometimes you're not going to lose weight, but you're losing inches, right? So it's important to also take your measurements. Measurements are your bust, around your bust, your what is it? Your waist, your hip, your arms, right here, the bigger part of the arm, and your leg. Okay, the bigger part of the legs, both legs, both arms. All right, and then your weight. Your weight is super, super important as well, but the weight, because it's everything, right? And so what I recommend is that you take your weight when you wake up in the morning. So when you wake up in the morning and you empty out, then, you know, you either put on the same outfit when you weigh yourself the first day and then when you end the program. Or the way I do it is the way God brought me to this world. That's the most accurate weight of all, right? But that's after I've emptied everything I need to empty. So those are 3 things you need to do right away. All right, and then obviously choose the program that, whether that's MBF or whatever you and your coach discuss based on your goals. All right, you guys. So, all right, so I believe it's here. We're gonna start here, and let me see if it's this one. This is just the calendar. All right, so here is the calculation you will utilize to figure out your calorie target and what plan you fall under. So some of you may have already seen this, some not, but maybe some need refresher, all right? And that's okay too. So you take your weight, you multiply that by 11, that is your caloric baseline. You're going to take your caloric baseline and you're going to add 400 calories. That is your maintenance calories, which means that if you don't want to lose any weight, you stay right there. You don't go anywhere else. Now, if you want to lose weight, you take the maintenance calories, all right? This is what I'm talking about right now. And you're going to subtract 750 calories. This is how you create the deficit so that you can lose weight. That is your calorie target, all right, you guys? So whatever that is, for example, if I want to lose weight, I fall under A. I fall under A. But if I'm maintaining, I fall under B. But if I want to now maybe gain some muscle mass, then I need to go up to C, right? So you got to bump it up if you're trying to lift heavy and get stronger. All right, so that's how you basically figure it out. Then the last thing that you want to know is, you know, okay, so let's just say in this scenario I'm in B, you know, plan B, I get 4 green containers, which means that I get 4 vegetable portions a day, not in one, you know, sitting, a day. I get 3 fruit servings, 3 purples. I get 4 protein servings. And my Shakeology falls into proteins. I get 3 carbs, 3 yellows. I get 1 healthy fat, which is the blue. I get 1 seed and dressing, which is the orange. And then I get 4 teaspoons, which is oils and nut butter. All right, so that's how simple it is to calculate where you fall. All right, now, what goes into these containers? Super simple. I'm going to show you the shorter version, but you can go into the eating plan and determine that, or you can go into the food list and determine that. So this one, I had my girls print this. They put it in, you know, somewhere where they can see it all the time. Some of them have it on their phone. Some have printed it, put it on the refrigerator, whatever you want to do with this, right? Everything on this list, you can go into the green container. But just pay attention. Some of these items, some of these foods have a number attached to them. So for example, instead of having to cut everything and put it into the container, there's a number attached to it so that this way you don't have to do all that. So asparagus, for example, you know, it's 10 large asparagus. You know, you go to the restaurant, when we used to be able to go to the restaurants, I guess we're starting to be able to go to the restaurants, but they give you like 3 big ones, right? And that's probably 10 because they're so big, right? But it's 10 of them. Let's say baby carrots or carrots. If you're doing a carrot period, let me see, where is carrots? Right here. Either slice, you put it in the green, whatever fits in there. Or if you're gonna have baby carrots, it's 10 of them, all right? Also, some of them say cooked or raw, it doesn't matter. So kale, if you're going to cook it, it's gonna be more than if you have it raw, right? But everything on here goes into your green container. Until you start to get comfortable and used to what goes into it, come back to this, look at it, get used to it, because some of them have numbers attached to them, all right? Also, whatever is on the top half of this has the best nutritional value, all right? So kale has more nutritional value than celery, right? Then what else? Then sprouts, then mushroom. So you want to stick to the top. Even lettuce, right? Have you heard of the lettuce diet? Everybody wants to eat lettuce to lose weight, but it has no nutritional value compared to kale and compared to spinach and Brussels sprouts, right? So make sure that you want to stay. I'm not saying not to eat from down here. What I'm saying is choose from the top more often than not. All right, purple, same scenario, you guys. If it fits in the purple container, go ahead and have it. I love cherries, and so I really try to get a lot in here. It has to close. The lid has to close. It has to close. I try to get as many in there. Sometimes it doesn't close. It has to close. I gotta preach it to myself. Also, banana, you guys. Banana and grapes actually have the highest sugar content in fruit. It's you know, it's natural, right? But it has the highest, and so you want to make sure that, you know, you're fitting what should go in here and not having more than that, because that's the serving size. Banana, it's half of a large banana. That's what you're having, all right? For those that eat guineo verde, that goes into your purple container. Purple, guineo verde, okay? All right, so anything in here, apple. We have huge apples nowadays. It's half of that, you guys. It's half of that, or it's a medium-sized apple. Where is it? Where's my apple? I can't find it. Anyone? Do you guys see it? Right here, apple. It says one small apple, not one large apple. So if you have one of those big apples, cut it in half, all right? Red containers, that's your protein, super important, right? Again, look at the servings. 2 eggs equals to 1 red container, 1 serving of protein. Your Shakeology, 1 scoop equals to 1 red container, not because it's a protein shake, but because it has protein and they had to fit it in here, all right? And then cottage cheese is in here, and yogurt is in here, and, you know, and it tells you what type and what kind and all of that. Fish and chicken and, you know, and veggie burger and turkey bacon, and, you know, turkey bacon is 4 slices. Also the slices of turkey and ham, it's 6 slices. 6, that's a lot. It's a lot of food. But that's what, so if you eat 3 of those, then you're eating half, all right? Yellow containers, oh, everybody loves the yellow containers. Those are the temptation for many of us, right? And so I just want to touch upon this because it's so important for you to understand that, you know, you can have the yellow container, the carbohydrates. And again, I'm going to specify that if you stay on the top of the list, you're going to have the best nutritional value. So instead of having bagel, which you can have, I'm not saying not to have it, but don't have it every single day. Bagel, it says whole grain, and it says 1/2 of a small bagel. So if you have the entire small bagel, you just had 2 yellow containers. Pay attention to the amounts. All right, tortilla. I know my Central Americans and my Mexicans love tortillas. I love tortillas. We like tacos in my house, right? And so we know that 2, right? And it tells you right here, where we at? 2 tortillas, 2 corn, small, equals to 1 yellow. So if I'm gonna have 4 tacos, that means I just had 2 yellows, all right? Be careful. This one is a whole wheat. 1 small equals to 1 yellow as well. Again, same thing with the bread. Bread is 1 slice equals to 1, and it's whole grain, you guys, equals to 1 yellow. So if you're having a sandwich, you just had 2 yellows. Crackers, you can have whole grain crackers. 8 small crackers equals to 1 yellow. I like to really go in deep into the yellow because I want you to know that you can have yellow containers. You can have the carbs, but, you know, don't stick to the bottom. Don't, you know, you can even have pancakes, right? 1 small pancake. You can have all the good things, but also pay attention to things that expand, like quinoa, like rice, like oatmeal, right? So just until you get used to this, come back to this list and pay attention. Blue container, also a favorite. Cheese goes in here. Your nuts go in here. And also same thing with the nuts. Be careful. It's not what fits in the blue container. It's the amount that is listed. All right. Orange container can be used. Pumpkin seeds, you can put that in salad. Sunflower seeds, flax seeds can go into your shake. Chia seeds can go into your shake. I love olives. We love olives in my house, so we typically have 10 medium olives to meet this container. All right, and then teaspoons, that can be the oil you're utilizing to make eggs or to make your meats, etc. All right, you can use mayo, butter, and then the nut butter that you put into your shake as well. Free foods right here. The water bar, so important, you guys, that you drink water. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I struggle with water, right? One of my challengers Maria gave me a big mug, and basically it has the amount of water I need to drink in a day. And it tells me, yeah, I need to drink it every 2 hours. So set an alarm, whatever it takes. Your weight divided by 2, that is the amount of ounces you should be consuming on a daily basis, all right? In order for you to have your water, maybe you struggle with it, infuse it. Lemon, lime, you could put some fruit pieces in there to make it taste better, all right? Now we have Bevy. You can have Bevy. Matias actually loves it, and I gotta like cut him off at 2. And then all of this, mustard and cilantro and garlic and ginger, all of this, hot sauce. We love hot sauces in my house. The extracts, the flavor extract, those are all free. 21-day fixed seasoning mixes. In the nutrition guide, she gives you how to mix these ingredients so that you can make your own at home, all right? I'm pretty much done with this. I'm going to cover something. Let me stop sharing my screen. So coffee, many of you guys may ask about coffee. You can have coffee, you can have tea. It's what goes into it that puts you in trouble, right? That's the problem. So make sure that, you know, if you're having coffee, I have my coffee black, that's just me, right? But it takes time to get there. I don't expect all of you guys to, you know, jump on that bandwagon and say, oh, I'm gonna have black coffee. It took me a while. What I did was I started to reduce the sugar. If I was having 3 sugars, I think I was having 3 teaspoons, then I reduced 1 and was having 2 until I got used to that. And then 1, and then 0 sugars, but I still had my half and half. Like I just needed a little something to see the color, right? Because I just cannot do. My husband is Colombian, so his coffee is strong, his coffee is black, right? No sugar, no nothing. And he's like, Gab, trust me, just have it black. And I'm like, yeah, no. Just like I didn't trust him with the running, no, right? And then one day he forgot to buy my half and half, and I didn't have any. And I was like, what am I gonna do? He's like, you either have it black or you don't have coffee at all. And I'm like, I can just kill him right now. But I had my black coffee and it tasted exactly the same. That was the secret. It tasted exactly the same because my half and half wasn't flavored. Then because I would just put a little splash because I just needed to see it change the color. And then I went black, and then it's, you know, I've never looked back. So you can have coffee, you can have, all right. My sister said that's what they say. See, that's going to a different type of call. So anyway, but what I want to say is, you know, you can have coffee. I believe you can have up to 2 cups of coffee a day. Just, you know, use maybe your almond butter. Your almond butter, Dios mío, your almond milk, your coconut milk, instead 2% milk, right? Just a little bit, you guys. Stevia, if you need to endulzar, right? If you need to sweeten your coffee. What else? Oh, let me talk about the Shakeology bases. So you can have it with water, the way I make mine. If you go under announcements or you go under units in quarantine, you're going to find 2 or 3 videos on how to make your Shakeology. When I was new, my Shakeology was a mess because I didn't know how I liked it. And I tried and tried until I found the consistency that I like. And that's how I teach my girls to do theirs, right? But once you start playing around with it, you're gonna find something that you like. And so what I do is I use and I reverse mine sometimes. I use 8 ounces of water and 4 ounces of unsweetened almond milk, or the reverse, 8 ounces of unsweetened almond milk and 4 ounces of water. It has to always be 12 ounces of liquid for me. 1 scoop of Shakeology. I put 1 green container. It can be, these days is frozen cauliflower. You cannot taste it. Even spinach. Shakeology just covers the taste of it, okay? And then I have 1 portion of my fruit. It can be half a banana, it can be strawberries, it can be blueberries, it can be watermelon, it can be whatever you want it to be, all right? And then I mix, and then I put actually 1 scoop of, 1 teaspoon of the almond butter. But then I also have all the additional things. I use the collagen, you guys. I use the digestive health. I use the energy boost. Like I use all of that to enhance my Shakeology, all right? And I talk about that in my video. So make sure my sister talks about it as well. And that is what gave me the energy to be here 6 years later, because you know my son is now 7. If anyone has boys at home, they know that they have a ton of energy. And when I was breastfeeding, when I started, he was 8 months. That's all he wanted to do, eat. And I'm like, come on, dude, right? So I needed energy. And I did my research before I joined because I needed to make sure that what Shakeology had was clean. Because even juicing green, because that's what I was doing before throughout my entire pregnancy, my husband would give me a green juice. So when I started to juice again, when I was breastfeeding, I had to stop. Like I did it 2 days and I had to stop because what I was juicing with was kale, and spinach was killing Matias through my milk. Why? Because it was making him bloated. He was only a baby. My mom was like, you need to stop that, right? And I did my research, and Shakeology is clean ingredients, no artificial flavors, no artificial anything. And he is as healthy as can be, and I give him Shakeology these days, and he loves it. So that being said, that's how I make my Shakeology. Oh, there is a page there on substitutions. All right, your yellow container substitution. You can drink wine, you can drink beer, you can drink liquor, right? Clear liquors is better. And it tells you how much. Before it used to be 4 ounces of wine for 1 yellow. And Autumn understands, right? The super trainer who created this nutrition plan understands that this plan needs to be sustainable. It needs to be something that it's fun for you. It needs to be something that you can keep in your life forever, right? Because if you omit or stop doing the things that you enjoy, or say, I'm not gonna have carbs anymore, I'm not gonna have this anymore, I'm not gonna have whatever anymore, what's gonna happen? If those are the things you enjoy, you're not gonna want to do it. You're not gonna enjoy it. And you're just going to give up. And so that's why she allows us to replace, right? Substitute 3 times a week, yeah. So for example, if I'm gonna have a glass of wine on Friday, let's say, right? I just make sure that I substitute it with my yellow container. And typically I'm lightweight, so 2 glasses of wine, I'm good to go, right? And before it used to be 4 ounces, she upped it to 5. What? Yes, she did. Oh, you know, I pay attention to those things. And so that and the beer, it tells you how much, you guys. And there's cookies that you can make and you can substitute. And there's chocolate, because I know some of you guys are chocolate lovers. And there's treats that we make that we share. Jorge and I shared how to make Shakeology balls. Guys, this has to be fun. You have to eat the things that you like. You have to fill your containers with the foods that you enjoy. Do not, yes, try new foods. Yes, try new foods, but don't eat foods that you don't enjoy, right? And ask questions. Make sure you're, leaning into your accountability groups, to your ladies, because That is how you're going to be successful. I don't think I missed anything. Make sure that you apply it now that you know how to figure out what plan you fall under. And then now you can start to apply it. So I'm going to open the call for questions for Tamara first, or just questions for the both of us. How's that? Remember, Tamara says she's shy, so she don't bite. Anyone? Any questions? No? Did you guys know that we have a quiz at the end?
Well, I have to say, Tamara's story is so inspiring. I watch her every morning. She puts her post, and you know, we all go through the ups and downs, right? So a couple months ago, I was kind of demotivated. And Tamara, I want you to know that your posts were the ones that would make me like, I got to get my butt in check. I got to keep doing this. I got to get back on track, because seeing you transform into the person that you've become today has been so inspiring. So kudos to you. Keep doing your thing. You're amazing. And thank you for sharing your story. I didn't know a lot of the things that you shared today. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Karen.
Anyone else? Thank you, Karen.
I've been here all along. Tamara, I loved hearing your story. Thank you so much for sharing. A couple of girls have said in the chat that we have, and myself, that nutrition is challenging, and we were talking about how last week we were challenged, and what did I miss this? Whatever. We were having a hard time with nutrition, and I just feel like your testimony and your story came at the right time. So I thank you so much for being so vulnerable, sharing your story, because I know that it can be very hard. So keep sharing, girl. Thank you. And now I gotta go follow you.
Thank you.
Diana asked the question, Beachbody supplements, she wants to know if they fall under the containers. So for those who are using the performance line, they do not. They're free. They're free food. So energize before your workout, hydrate during your workout, recover after your workout, 30 minutes after your workout, and then recharge right before bedtime. Those are all free containers, all right? So 2 of those are proteins, but they're utilized after your lifting typically. So those are the days that I use mine, or even with Muscle Burn Fat. She be coming for our life with abs and cardio as well. So just to replenish. So no, they do not count.
I actually have a question. So Tamara, you mentioned that you lost 60 pounds in 2 years, correct?
Yes.
So what did that look like for you? So like, right, I could easily be like, oh, that's 30 pounds a year, you know, and then divide that up by months and weeks or whatever. But I'm curious, but that's like not human. Like everyone's different. And like, what was it? How did your 60 pounds come off over the 2 years?
I think that the very first year, I don't behave in December, ladies. December, it's the month that I literally love December.
Tamales.
No, I am a good flor de caña lover. So,
Oh, really?
and I behaved bad the first year, and I lost 42 pounds the first year. Then the rest was on the second year. For some reason, this quarantine months, we've all faced challenges, right? I've been one of them with the kids at home. I am a remote employee, so that's even more stress. And I'm not sure why, but in the last month, I lost 8 pounds.
Right.
Eating the same thing. I'm a chocolate lover. I'm not gonna lie. I do a bit of chocolate every day, but just a bit, just to take that out of my, that's something I cannot let go of. Now I know how to prepare the pancakes with the Shakeology. So I do the mini ones so that I can just let go of that anxiety. That's how I lost my 60 pounds. The first year was 40 something. The rest has been between the second year battling some up, some downs.
This
The
year,
last month I lost 8 pounds. Yeah.
this year, right? The last 20, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So just to put it into perspective, and again, like this may not be the exact case, but just to do the math. So Tamara says she lost 40, let's say, I think you said 42 the first time. So I divided that by 12 months, even though you said you're not good in December, but still, we all got to have fun. That's 3.5 pounds a month. A month. And I do that because for me, that's helpful. And I hope that's helpful for someone else. This isn't about, like Lamara said it herself. She's like, how do you do this? This is to be sustainable, right? So
Lasting.
right, and lasting. So 3 pounds a month. I know some ladies are here like, nah, I could go lose 10 pounds with something else. Okay. Then you can gain the 10 pounds right back along with 5 more. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying it because I've been that person, you know? And what I want to do is in 2 years, I want to be where Tamara is. In 5 to 6 years, I want to be where my sister is and Audrey is, where they continue, like they have just sustained it and continue to sustain it, right? So I thank you for that. That was so helpful for me.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you asked her that question because I think that's so important because we come into this thinking that we're going to lose 10 pounds like this. And it can be done, you guys. You can lose
Everybody's
because,
body's
right,
different.
everybody's body's different. But if you are 100% on your nutrition, right, and you have the weight to lose, you will lose. I've seen people lose anywhere from 7 to 15 pounds in 3 weeks.
I've been that person.
Yeah,
I've
in
lost
these
10 pounds.
last 6 years, I've seen people do it. In 3 weeks, I've seen people lose anywhere from 7 to 15 pounds, right? And I'm going to mention it, but I'm not going to mention it to give you false expectations. But in my 6 years as a coach, I've had 3 people lose 20 pounds in 21 days, right? And so that's, obviously, these people have more to lose, but also they're committing to their fitness and more importantly to their nutrition. But all of this to say that, we talk about patience all the time, but also remember that healthy weight loss for a woman is anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds a week, right? And so I have girls messaging me saying, I lost 4 pounds in 21 days, and I am celebrating the heck out of that because that's amazing. Then I have other girls telling me I've lost 8 pounds in 2 weeks, but that's because perhaps, the nutrition was terrible before and it's like on point now, 100%, right? And the other thing that you need to consider is that, are you not only showing up in your nutrition and fitness, but are you drinking your water? Are you sleeping, right? Because that's when your body recovers, when you're sleeping. And also stress.
Yes, that's a big one.
Right? That makes you hold on to weight. And so how do you let go of stress? That's important. That's why we recommend for you to do a devotion, to spend time with yourself, to spend time with God, to pray, right? To lean into this community, to work on this mindset, to show up in a Zoom call, because guess what? When you show up for yourself and you have poured into yourself, you are going to feel so accomplished that you're going to show up for others from a better place. And so all of that is going to help you move your journey, your, you know what I mean? So it's so important to understand all of this and to understand the importance to tapping into all of those areas. And Tamara hit it on the nose earlier when she said, you can't just feed yourself with what goes in here, right? You got to feed yourself from your heart, your spirit, your mind. You got to find those foods, ladies. That's why you're in this community, right? Because like my sister said, you can go somewhere else and lose the weight quicker, but you're doing it alone. And on top of doing it alone, if it's not sustainable, you're going to gain it back. And this is about you learning a healthy lifestyle and maintaining it. All right.
Think about it like this too. More math. I'm not even a math person, right? I hate math. Like if you guys are here, right? So assuming you've you started MBF in July. So if you lose 5 pounds a month and don't include December, that's 25 pounds, correct? Did I do the math right?
No.
I did it wrong?
Oh, from now to then?
From now to November
Oh.
and then take out December.
I'm like, I thought she meant the whole 12 months.
No. Like if you lose 5
So
pounds
it's
a month,
July, August,
people are
September,
like, 5 pounds
October,
is
November.
nothing.
Yes, 25
that's
pounds.
25 pounds. Like it adds up. And that's the thing. Everyone wants to lose 25 pounds in a month. What?
Right.
Like that doesn't make sense. And that's why the mindset, your heart, that's why it goes right back to that. You know, she can keep doing nutrition calls, Tamara, and we can have more guests talk about their amazing stories. It's inspirational and it's obviously necessary. I just learned I could have 5 ounces of wine. I did not know that, you know? But at the end of the day, if you're not doing the mindset work and the heart work,
It's not going to work.
it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Mm-hmm. That's so important. I think that if you can take away that you can have 1 more ounce of wine, then you
That was an hour well served.
Another thing, do not get discouraged by the weight, the scale. Because if you do that, then you're gonna go back to the old habits, and that's not gonna work. Little by little, if you don't wanna get your stress out with someone, write it down. Play the mirror. The mirror is your best friend. I'm not a talker. I don't go out there. I'm very reserved with my problems. Talk to the mirror. Journal it down. You
Yes.
behave good, girl. I behave bad. I behave bad in December, like I said. I always will.
I always will. I love it.
You know what? I like that piece, and then we can wrap it up unless someone else has a question with that. You know, I want to make sure that we're setting, you know, the right expectations for you guys, right? Number one, you have to show up in your fitness. You got to pick a program, start it from beginning to end. Right. And don't beat yourself up when you miss day 5 and you want to restart on day 1. Guys, just pick up on day 6, right? Just keep on moving forward, because if you keep restarting, you'll never finish and you'll never accomplish that goal, right? 1. 2, show up in the kitchen, you guys. One of the things that Elise from Barb Lens said that I used to love hearing her say is, you know, yes, you're going to work on your abs at the bar, but you're going to expose them in the kitchen. So important to understand that, all right? Drink your Shakeology. It comes in your package, you guys. It's full of nutrients, right? Our system, our food system is deprived from all of the goodness these days, right? And also lean into the accountability. I'm telling you, in these past 6 years, the women that lean into the accountability, that are showing up not only for themselves, but for their sisters, are the ones that are here to tell the story like Tamara did. I'm telling you, that is what works. Leaning into these accountability and showing up for yourself and showing up for someone else. The other thing, you're not going to lose 50 pounds in 10 weeks. You're not going to lose 100 pounds in one program, you guys. You have to continue to show up. I need you to understand, I want to set the right expectation. Will you see progress? Heck yeah, absolutely. You will continue to see progress, but you gotta continue to connect. You gotta continue to stay connected and show up for yourself. Be patient, but also know that it is not perfect. I always say this, guys, it took me 3 years to build my consistency muscle when it came to fitness. I was a mess, a hot mess, right? But why am I still here? Because I never gave up. I never gave up. And so that's what I want you to take from tonight. Don't give up. Even if this container system is hard at first, ask the question, ask for help. You came here because someone invited you. You have a coach, you have a community. Tap into them, use them, because we want you to succeed. If you succeed, we all succeed, right? Because we have, you know, we talk about this pandemic that we have, but you guys, obesity is a pandemic in itself. It's killing thousands of people, you know, all the time. But we ignore it. It's in our families. In our families, we have diabetes and we have heart conditions and we have high blood pressure. And it starts with you to make the change at home. It really does start with you. You set the example, and I promise you, not only will you impact, like a domino effect, your families, but you will impact your community. It takes one person, one woman to make an impact. I've seen it done before. You know, I have a friend who said to me one time, one woman changes her home, and then that same woman can impact her community, and her community, you can impact your city and your state and your country and the world, you guys. It takes one of us. So don't give up. Please keep showing up for yourself. And we'll be here on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking about 2B Mindset. Tamara, thank you so much for sharing your story
Thank
tonight.
you, ladies.
You are so amazing, so inspirational. Keep lighting the path for all these women that come behind you. Have a great night, you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.